Welcome to the bold analysis. The DCI prosecutor that is presenting Mukunji in the Makadara law court almost walked away from the court, walked out of the court due after failing to explain why Mukunji is charged of terrorism. You'll actually understand that even the Rigathi Gachagwa's youthful allies who were arrested in Embu, they're also charged with the same thing of terrorism. And the question has been, what exactly is this? In this podcast, we are also going to look at a separate incident where residents were forced to storm a police station carrying the body of their kin, allegedly killed by the police and disguised as a suicide. So kindly subscribe as we look at how means are coming out to dodge the justice system. Before that, I am in Embu and I'm reaching to help us achieve the Embu mission too. I came back to Embu to respond to two separate calls. The first call is this gentleman, Alex. Alex was shot in the foot, in the leg during the protests. And according to his account is that he was actually, alikuwa kwa plot, polisi wakaingia, they started shooting aimlessly, na I think akawaona, so our polisi wakamwambia shuke. And on that time when coming down, he was shot in the leg. Mpaka hiyo, that bullet ilitoka the other side. And mguu, as you can see, what is needed there is grafting. So we are going to cover a bit of that because that needs some critical care. And also just make sure kwamba tunaweza kumsort mambo na SHA so that he can continue getting treatment. And we are supposed to do that as early as tomorrow.
Polisi walikuwa huyo askari alikuwa amekimbisha mtu. Sasa wakati amekimbia akaingia kwa mroad. Huyo polisi akarudi akaniona. Niona kaniambia nishuke ama nishuti. Sasa nikaanza kushuka, nilikuwa nateremka, nimesikia risasi ngumu naanguka kwa maji. So six nilikuwa nimeamka.
And after that, the same day tomorrow, I also want us to support this other lady, Faith Wambui, a mother of 3, is living in such a dilapidated house. This is what he calls house, somewhere in the middle of a bush. Now, what we understand is that when she gave birth to the last born girl there, she developed what is called postpartum depression and trauma. And that really changed her life. The husband who was actually there disappeared and has been forced to live in that structure, like a cave. And if you look at it, you can see how the house is, plus the two structures, and wameweka hiyo mattress juu ya mawe. So we came here and I saw this, that we can change a life. At least the 2 children also have not been able to get education, get to school, of course, because of the challenges. So we've located Baba Watoto, who showed us a place where we can put up a house for this lady, Faith Wambui. So tomorrow, we are also starting, we are going to buy materials in the afternoon so that on Saturday they can start working immediately, waweze kujengea huyu mama nyumba. Kindly support us in any way you can. Support us in what God has touched you to support this mission. We are looking at a budget of probably 300,000, but polepole hujaza kibaba. Whatever you get, we do 50, 100, 2,000, whatever God has blessed you. We believe that by the time we will leave Embu, we shall have painted a smile kwa huyo mama Faith, and God will bless you. Thank you very much for supporting. Let me explain this. The arrest of Mukunji, the Manyata member of parliament, alongside Rigath's allies, they were only saying the DCI were accusing them of terrorism, and prosecution has not been able to explain. And today, while in court, Kibe Mwingai asked the prosecution as to why they still need to detain him for actually long while they're talking about the terrorism charges. And before that, I would want you to listen to a question by Ndengwa Njiru. Ndengwa Njiru, who was the lawyer for Mukunji, asked the prosecution to explain that they're still doing investigations, but they've already presented the Mukunji in anti-terrorism, with anti-terrorism charges.
It says that you will the investigations are the ones that will inform the charges, correct?
But it's just bothering
bothering around. So what made you bring them before the Anstera court? If you have not yet formed the opinion of the specific charge, what made you form the opinion of bringing them before the Anstera court?
Your Honor, paragraph 6 of student.
No, I'm asking about paragraph 5, 7, and 8. You'll keep your paragraph 6 to yourself. Paragraph 8. If you have not yet formed the opinion, what made you bring them before the Anstera court?
Your Honor, once I complete all...
It's okay, that I shall give you time to complete.
Yes.
Even the court will be lenient with you. But that's not the question, whether you shall be given time or not. My question is, what made you form the opinion to bring them before the Anstera court when you are saying that you have not yet formed the investigation, have not revealed the charges that will be preferred against them?
Your Honor, what I have just reported here is what has just informed me that once I conclude the investigations, I will...
That's not the question I'm asking, Mr. Witness. Ni nini kilichosababisha wewe ukawaleta hapa katika hii mahakama ya magaidi?
By the same, I've just deported. Whatever I have...
Your Honor, may the witness answer that question because it's a very relevant question to us. Nitakuuliza tena kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Ni nini kilichokufanya ukaamua kuwaleta hapa mbele ya hii mahakama inayojihusisha na maneno ya ugaidi?
Your Honor, in paragraph 6.
Soma paragraph 8. Sitaki 6, nataka 8. Hapa nitakuandalia uone vizuri. What made you form the opinion of bringing them before this court?
What informed me to bring them to respond to this court is my prayers in paragraph 6.
Your prayers on paragraph. So the fact that you brought them, you found them with a laptop, an iPhone, a wallet, a member of parliament card, a laptop, a key for the ignition, made you form the opinion of bringing them before this court, correct?
And there was some money which was distributed to whoever was given to...
Mr. Witness, you know we are before a court. We are not before any police station. So when you speak about the money, did you capture that money in your inventory?
It is in the diary, Your Honor.
Terrorism charges. It could not explain. On the other side, even Kibe Mwingai also demanded an explanation from the DCI fellows to explain more about Mukunji being detained, so because he could interfere with forensic investigation that are supposed to be run in his phone.
Allow me to answer the defense counsel.
Yes.
When it comes to witnesses,
the first exposure to the person of great influence and influence. He can interfere with the witnesses or intimidate them. Before we record our statements, Your Honor.
You have said they are not known. You cannot interfere with a person you don't know. Is that correct, Mr. Witness? I'm asking about the cyber forensic analysis. It is done at the CIG or Safaricom. Can they prevent you from doing it? If they are out?
That's what I have to say.
Can they prevent from doing it?
Your Honor, you can protect me from the defense. Number one, I just want to report that the first exponent of a person of influence
You know, in cross-examination, you cannot decide to conduct a personal speech. Cross-examination means you answer the question. I'm asking you on 9 cybercrime offenses. Nitauliza na Kiswahili. Watakuzuia kufanya hii upelelezi, uchunguzi for cybercrimes. If they are outside, would they?
to suggest that we can.
Where do you do it? At the CID headquarters? We go to the next one.
I saw this. This is not new. Even DCP youth leaders who were arrested in Embu were also charged of terrorism. And that has been a question on terrorism. How terrorism? Why terrorism? There have been so many unanswered questions on the charges leveled against him being terrorism charges. But I'll explain to you in a separate incident that also shows how the justice system is struggling to beat, how the state is trying to beat around the justice system. This gentleman here was found to be hanging somewhere on a tree, and as you can see this, hiyo ni mwili ilikuwa ina hang. Of course, because of media ethics, we could not give you the full frame. And the family are saying that police said that alicommit suicide, eti alijipatikana kama amefungwa. But when the autopsy was done, they confirmed that a bullet had been locked, was shot kwa mbavu, and that is when they took the body to that police station. So they took the body there. Now you can see how inhuman people are, and in fact, if you listen to the fellows there, they're so specific that it is the said officer who committed the heinous act. And in fact, according to them, they're just demanding that that officer needs to be arrested so that he can answer queries as to what caused the death of that gentleman. And I think this opens a little bit conversation on the next phase that is going on. It is really true that there are security agencies that went overboard.
Anafanya kazi yake ya pikipiki, ameuawa. Kwa nini mwenye kumufanya hivi kumuua? Serikali inafanya kazi gani? Amuziki huyo muanji mwana wangu. Anaitwa Mokili, amemuua hii mtoto yangu. Mimi nauliza serikali mnafanya kazi gani? Mokili mnapofukia ndani ya nyumba hapa. Kwa sero, amumutoi. Kama amamutoi yeye. Atakaa kwa boda ya kuja. Mtoto yangu ni ya mtoto moja. Sasa sitamuona.
Na mwenye yangu. Sasa nimekuja hapa kutafuta justice yake, kwa sababu kulingana na habari ya daktari alitueleza, alifanya postmortem, alionekana kwanza alikuwa amepigwa mbavu na mkono na mguu, alafu sasa akanyongwa. After kunyongwa sasa akachukuliwa na pikipiki yake akapelekwa kwa kichaka akatiwa kitanzi, isemekana amenyongwa, lakini walikuwa wamemfanya hivyo, na mwenye kufanya hivyo anajulikana ni nani. Wanajulikana. Sasa anasema amebakisha watu wanne, na mwenye kufanya hiyo kitendo tunawajua, na anaitwa Mukiri, tunamjua.
Breached the code of ethics and really committed some heinous act. There is no protest now, and someone might argue the dust has settled. But if the state will shield and not make police be individually liable for some of those atrocities, like for example, the said officer, the said person those people are saying had actually been moved, transferred from the station, and could be one reason or the other. But I think if they cannot take individual responsibility on some of these conducts of security agencies, then we are planting a seed that will germinate into a big crisis. You should not make the security agencies normalize taking some people's lives, and it is not something that is really a welcome. And why I feel that, of course, if you look at what's happening in the court, the terrorism charges are just there to try to, it's a charge you cannot substantiate. You still don't even have evidence about it. But because if you mention terrorism, you'll be able to get away, this is a terrorist. When someone is called a terrorist, I want you to, the terrorism charge is a very big charge. And then through that, you can be able to extend people's stay behind bars. But then, it means probably you don't have something. Your charge sheet is weak. And you can see the way the state prosecutor is struggling to explain himself in vain. He does not seem, if you look at him carefully, he does not seem to even have an answer to some of the questions that are being raised there. And honestly, he does not have. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Now, it shows, number one, some of these charges are politically motivated. For example, on this one for Mukunji, it's a bit interesting that it just happened a day after Rigathi Gachagua made it public that there were some political players who were demanding for Mukunji to be arrested. It beats the logic that while we can really feel like we have a case against so-and-so, but largely, they're really still politically motivated. Now, the protection is actually, I don't think they're just orders of go and arrest so-and-so, but they're blanket orders without substance of what that person, he or she, has done. And that is making the state to be embarrassed in the courtroom, because in the courtroom, there is an encounter between the state prosecution and the defense team. And it's making it difficult. It actually tells you that even as much as we're talking about this arrest, we don't really have some changes about it, and that's why I'm arriving at that first interpretation of political charge. And helping perpetrators to get away with some of these atrocities is a big blunder. If you know in real sense that so and so did this, I think it should be, the state should make sure you sacrifice those people. You do not defend them, because looking like, yes, like what they're saying have been heard, and then is no longer in the station, but now the people are demanding answers. So sometimes we must create a balance. That is when, as we want to protect, but justice, the call for justice needs not to be dropped. Thank you.